Welcome everybody to this new video. I decided to decode Escape from New York after decoding They Live, as so much truth was revealed in They Live. New York is the Big Apple. This means that New York represents the torus field of the Earth. In my previous videos, we've seen that the Earth's magnetic field is what keeps us inside the matrix. It is the prison grid. And in this movie, we can see that New York is a world maximum security prison.
In 1988, the crime rate in the United States rises 400%. The once great city of New York becomes the one maximum security prison for the entire country. A 50-foot containment wall is erected along the New Jersey shoreline, across the Harlem River, and down along the Brooklyn shoreline. It completely surrounds Manhattan Island. All bridges and waterways are mined. The United States police force, like an army, is encamped around the island. There are no guards inside the prison, only prisoners and the worlds they have made. The rules are simple. Once you go in, you don't come out.
When we ask the question, what is New York? We get 191 in English ordinal. And this question matches the Earth pendulum and the 54 BPM metronome. We saw this in my last decode about They Live. This 54 BPM is linked to this rhythm, apparently operating the matrix, and of course to cable 54. And actually 191 is linked to number 54 in pi, because 54 appears at the 191st digit. So we can see the connection with the movie They Live, and the signal sent by cable 54. 54 matches element xenon, that means stranger. This is telling us that this signal is not natural, it's stranger. It doesn't belong. And in the movie They Live, this signal was sent by aliens. Going back to the 191, in English ordinal we also have infinite time loop, a primitive archaic game, the octopus garden. The octopus is the demiurge, and its garden is the louche farm. We also have the question, are we being harvested? And of course the title, They Live, We Sleep. We also have this interesting expression, the nuclear fusion. And in this movie Escape from New York, it's all about saving the president who has a tape about the nuclear fusion. 191 is the 43rd prime number. It matches the spider medicine card that represents the demiurge. This medicine card shows the spider web we are stuck in, and I think this spider web represents this grid, this electromagnetic grid. And actually, if you look at the map, we can see this spider web. And also those 8 branches, like the 8 legs of the spider or of the octopus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I think this represents the legs of the spider, and those ripples here represent the radiations that form the spider web. And 43 also matches element technetium, that means artificial. So this means that it is a construct, and that this grid was created artificially. So John Carpenter showed us the grid in this movie from 1981, many years before The Matrix, as the first Matrix movie came out in 1999. And we even have here this Matrix green color. $191 is one of the atomic masses of element osmium. This element represents the Wizard of Oz and the operating system OS. Osmium is the 76th element of the periodic table, and with 76 in Chaldean we have cable 54 digital broadcasting. So we can see that both movies from John Carpenter, Escape from New York and They Live, are completely related. With 76 we also have maximum security prison, electromagnetic field, electromagnetic energy, reincarnation soul trap, and quantum entanglement. So here we have this confirmation that this cable 54 signal creates an electromagnetic field and makes up this maximum security prison. They are telling us that the electromagnetic field of the Earth, represented by New York, is very well guarded and that it is impossible to get out. So we saw that New York represents the electromagnetic field of the Earth, the torus field, and it is the reincarnation soul trap. We saw that it was linked to cable 54 digital broadcasting, that is the signal emitted by the aliens in They Live, and this signal was linked to a rhythm of 54 BPM. And in my second video about They Live, we saw that 54 was also linked to the Schumann resonance, the 7.83 Hz frequency, or 7.83 resonance. And with 54 in Chaldean, we also have the machine elf, the television, and cable 54 was a television channel. The dream machine, hypnotic trance. We also saw in my video about They Live that this frequency is also linked to a state of hypnosis. 54 is also linked to the virtual reality, trapped in hell, living on video, inverted world, tricked by the light, and lost in the maze. And we also have this word, fusion reactor. And all this movie, Escape from New York, is about nuclear fusion. Now let's go back to the 191 being the 43rd prime number. We saw that 43 was matching the spider medicine card. Now 43 matches the following expressions in Chaldean. The first one is torus field. And at the beginning of this presentation, I explained that New York was a representation of the torus field of the Earth. So here is a confirmation. What is New York? 191 in English ordinal, being the 43rd prime number, matching torus field. And we have other very interesting expressions. Planet Earth. So this is another layer confirming that New York is a representation of this planet. We also have magnetic Earth, prison Earth, and this expression explains perfectly why John Carpenter chose the city of New York for his movie, and New York being a prison, a maximum security prison. and they say that breaking out is impossible. So this fiction movie is not fiction. It is not about New York being a prison. It is about Earth being a prison planet. Then we have the Earth beat. After decoding They Live, we know that this beat is 54 beats per minute. The question, what is 54 BPM, is 43 in Chaldean, matching the Earth beat. Then we have the illusion, Truman Show. So being here means that we are under an illusion, and we are in a Truman Show. We also have Lucifer Trap, Death Machine, and green screen. Green screens are used in the movie industry. So Earth apparently is the green screen upon which the movie is projected. Here is a deeper layer to it. 43 is linked to 179 in the golden ratio. And with 179 we have the 54 BPM pendulum, so again a reference to this beat of 54 beats per minute. And we also have the 7.83 Hz resonance, so once again we have this Schumann resonance and this rhythm. And we have Earth's magnetic field. So it cannot be clearer that what this movie is about is the Earth's magnetic field. We also have electromagnetism, the radiation fields, and the magnetosphere. The hypnotist, this is what is creating the illusion, Earth's magnetic field. The Schumann resonance is creating the illusion and provoking this state of trance. Low pitch sound and low vibrations. So this is what is being used to make this magnetic trap. It's actually very interesting that the hypnotist is 52 in Chaldean, matching element tellurium that represents the Earth. Now in Chaldean, what is New York is 48, and this number matches the wild boar medicine card. As I wanted to know the origin of the name, I looked up for the etymology of York. Of course, York is a beautiful town in the north of England, but I wanted to know the meaning of this word. And it literally blew my mind to see that it meant wild boar. I mean, isn't that incredible? This code never stops to amaze me. With 48 in Chaldean, we have the following expressions: hamster wheel, god of dreams, the soul trap. So once again, New York is depicted as the soul trap. Horror movie, Deus ex machina, demonic spirit, we live in hell, spiral trajectory and simulated reality. And also the purgatory. 48 appears at the 15th digit of the golden ratio, and 15 matches the devil tarot card, and this matches quite well demonic spirit that we have with the 48. And in alchemy, the 15th element is phosphorus, that represents Lucifer. The 48th card in the cards of illumination is the 9 of spades, and 9 of spades is 48 in Chaldean. In English ordinal, 9 of spades is 127, matching the atomic mass of element tellurium that represents the Earth, once again confirming that New York is a representation of the Earth. The equivalent of the 9 of spades in the tarot is the 9 of swords, and it is card 59, and that's a huge number. This is the number of element praseodymium, that means green twin. And in my previous videos we saw that the green twin is this Earth. With 59 in English ordinal we have Joker and Goblin. And I have a video about the Joker and the Green Goblin. They represent the same thing. With 59 in English ordinal we also have the Game. And the Game is 27 in Chaldean, matching element Cobalt, that means Goblin. So once again it is leading us to this Goblin. That means mischievous sprite. It represents an evil entity. And 9 of Swords is 161 in English ordinal. This is Phi. These are the first 3 numbers of the golden ratio. 9 of Swords in English ordinal matches the Demiurge's code and the Orb and Cross. This is very interesting because the Orb and Cross is the Globus Cruciger. And 161 is one of the atomic masses of element dysprosium. The symbol of dysprosium is a stylized depiction of a nuclear reactor. So this is the 3rd time we have a reference to nuclear fusion. Thermonuclear fusion reactor is 317 in English ordinal. 317 is 741 in primes. And this is Lucifer's number. And with 741 we have 2 interesting expressions, one in Satanic, the 7.83 Hz resonance. So once again we have the Schumann resonance. And another one is the Thunderdome in Fibonacci. And this is quite significant too, because if you watched my second video about They Live, we saw that what operates cable 54 signal is thorium, linked to Thor, hence the thunder. And the thunder has to do with the Schumann resonance. So we had 9 of Swords, 161 in English ordinal, matching the Orb and Cross. And this represents the Imperial Orb. And the 9 of Spades is 160 in English ordinal, matching Globus Cruciger. So you can see that both in the cards of illumination and in the tarot, this 9 of Spades or 9 of Swords is linked to the Globus Cruciger and linked to element dysprosium, as both numbers 160 and 161 are atomic masses of this element dysprosium. And this element represents a nuclear reactor. With 160 in English ordinal, we also have the Thunderdome, and we just saw it in the previous slide with the 741 in Fibonacci cipher, that is Lucifer's number. We also have the Cosmic Comedy and the Radiation Field. In Chaldean, the 9 of Swords is 70. And with 70 we have the matrix code system, the television signal. So we are back to They Live and Cable 54. The Land of the Dead, Who is the Imposter, The Hypnotic Spell, The Keeper of Time, Quantum Technology, Telepathic Control, The Earth's Resonance. So you can see once again it is linked to the Schumann resonance. The Earth's beat of 54. And here once again this beat of 54 BPM. And chained to the rhythm, because here on Earth we are all chained to this rhythm, to this beat, to this resonance. And it is controlling us, putting us under a spell. The Globus Cruciger is 63 in Chaldean, matching element europium, and the atomic mass of element europium 151, matches the imperial orb in English ordinal. So both names of the globus cruciger match this element, europium. So I was wondering what it had to do with the globus cruciger. So I checked the definition and the description given on the official site of the Royal Society of Chemistry, and I found that europium is excellent at absorbing neutrons, making it valuable in control rods for nuclear reactors. So see, once again we have this nuclear reactor. This is why decoding with the elements of the periodic table is so important. They really give us a lot of clues. So sometimes it is in the description of the image, and sometimes in the uses. For europium, for example, you go to uses and properties, and here is the sentence about nuclear reactors. So to sum up, here we have global cruciger and the orb and cross in English ordinal, both matching atomic masses of element dysprosium that is linked to a nuclear reactor, and this is found in the image description. And the globus cruciger and the imperial orb, both linked to element europium, also have to do with nuclear reactors, and both elements mention control rods for nuclear reactors. This cannot be a coincidence. So not only is europium linked to nuclear reactors, but the globus cruciger that is 63 in Chaldean matches the nuclear reactor. So this is a very direct confirmation here that this globus cruciger is a nuclear reactor. And with 63 in Chaldean we also have Queen of England. I have shown in my video about Queen Elizabeth how the Queen represented Earth. Then with 63 in Chaldean we have the question, what is planet Earth? And the answers: planet Earth system, particle accelerator, the nuclear reactor, mischievous spirit, the fabric of reality, the land of slavery, supercomputer, black cube of Saturn, and the Earth's heartbeat. So you see, it always comes back to the heartbeat, to this 54 BPM. And 54 is, of course, the stranger, linked to the Joker, linked to cable 54, and all the information you can see in my previous videos. Now if we ask the question, is Earth a nuclear reactor? We have 235 in English ordinal, matching torus field of the Earth. It always goes back to the torus field, the electromagnetic field. Then we have the resonating cavity and the sound vibrations. 235 appears at the 131st digit of the golden ratio, and this is the atomic mass of element xenon, that means stranger. So we are back to cable 54 from They Live. And 235 is linked to number 216, also in the golden ratio, because 216 appears at the 235th digit of the golden ratio. And as you know, 216 is 6 by 6 by 6. So we have the 666. And with 216 in English ordinal, we have what is behind cable 54 signal and the Earth's 7.83 resonance. So once again, it has to do with the Schumann resonance. "235 that we have in English ordinal for torus field of the Earth, and the question, is Earth a nuclear reactor, is linked to number 783, because 783 appears at the 235th digit of pi, and 7.83 Hertz is the Schumann resonance. So as you can see, it always goes back to this Schumann resonance. And we saw that 235 appears at the 131st digit of the golden ratio, and with 131 we have a tempo of 54 BPM. So it's all about the Schumann resonance and this tempo of 54 BPM. We saw that the Orben cross was matching one of the atomic masses of element dysprosium that represents a nuclear reactor. Dysprosium is the 66th element of the periodic table. In Chaldean, with 66, we have the golden apple. So you see, it has to do with the apple. And this has to do with the 9 of spades card that corresponds to the question, what is New York? So it is telling us it is the golden apple. And New York is called the Big Apple. Then we have 7.83 Hertz resonance. So once again, the Schumann resonance. And we can see that this resonance really has to do with this globus cruciger. That is a representation of the apple. Then the resonating cavity, and we had it right before with is Earth a nuclear reactor, matching the resonating cavity in English ordinal with 235. The television set, the torture chamber, information field, the Demiurge's code, Large Hadron Collider, quantum computer, radioactive black hole, God of murder, system of control, the hypnotic spiral, the spiral of death, and the sleeping death. And we also have You Can Never Leave. And this is what is said in this movie. The rules are simple. Once you go in, you never come out. Because it is a maximum security prison. Globus cruciger is 49 in Chaldean, matching element indium. This element is used to make screens and flat screen TVs and solar panels. With 49 in Chaldean we have the simulation, nuclear reactor, cyclotron sun, demonic entity, space-time trap, hologram reality and matrix hologram, the rattlesnake, and this one is interesting because the title of this movie, Escape from New York, in German is Die Klapperschlange, which means the rattlesnake, and of course represents the character of Snake Plissken. We also have a fake universe, just an illusion, eternal return, wheel of karma, and Earth's heartbeat. So notice here once again we have this beat of the Earth, the Schumann resonance. 49 appears at the 57th digit of pi, and with 57 we have the planet Earth, the prison Earth, the metronome, the death machine, containment wall, and the torus field. Interesting words here confirming that the globus cruciger represents the planet Earth, and it is a prison planet. The metronome, of course, is what makes this beat, and containment wall is what we have in this movie, Escape from New York, with a containment wall around Manhattan that is a prison, so this symbolism is very important. And we have the torus field. New York, being the Big Apple, represents the torus field of the Earth. And this movie reveals that there is a containment wall, or field, surrounding the prison, which I believe is a magnetic trap and a frequency grid. We just saw that Globus Cruciger was 49 in Chaldean matching element indium. This element is linked to touch screens and flat screen TVs. 49 appears at the 57th digit of pi, and with 57 we have the green screen. So you can see the direct correlation between the green screen and touch screens and flat screen TVs. With 57 we also have the Truman Show, and of course the planet Earth, and the prison Earth. In my video about the Truman Show, we could see this green screen on which Truman appears. The imperial apple is 64 in Chaldean. 64 matches element gadolinium that has the symbol of a television. So here we can clearly see how everything is connected. And Truman appears on a green screen on television. Actually, the Truman Show tells us the same story, as we can see here that the show has been running for 10,910 days, and as zeros don't count, we are left with 191 matching what is New York. And here we have the reference to the nuclear power station.